Steven,
Steven.
I have a gift. Not from me, but from Konami. Because we get the privilege of unboxing the legendary 5D's decks, a new product coming out, and this is one of the most excited releases people have been talking about because of all the incredible reprints coming out in this, but also because it's the 5D's Legendary Collector Box. I loved 5D's as a kid. I remember watching the first season, and Yusei, that was my guy.
I'm definitely a Crow stan, so I'm really excited to see what this kind of does for this era. It feels like we're back in 2009, but something tells me this will be a little bit stronger than that.
All of the decks here, so we have Akiza, we have Yusei, we have Crow, and all of them have received support in the recent sets, and there's also new Yusei support in here too. So we're gonna get a first look at that, see how that plays, and kind of learn all the decks together, because the Blackwing support was probably like what was the set of that? Darkwing
Blast 2022.
Yeah. So the Blackwing support in Darkwing Blast never fully got it like into a lot of the tournament scene, but people were playing around with it, and it was still really strong, especially in this type of environment where all you have to do is buy the one box and you have 3 decks ready to go. This is like the perfect type of like pick up and play with your friends type of product.
Oh, Steven, you know me. The best type of card games I can play are the ones where I don't need to bring anything.
Exactly.
And you're bringing this right to my house? Oh, it's perfect. Lines up great.
And maybe some sleeves, because you should sleeve up your cards at home. So if you're
Always.
gonna pick this up, get some sleeves along with it. All right, you ready to crack it open, see what it looks like inside?
Let's do it.
It's time to crack open the box. First off, beautiful looking box. I love the sheen to it, the kind of red and black aesthetic. That's why we had to pick the red and black mats down here. And on the back, you can see the 3 different decks you get with the full deck list of everything. And one of the first things I noticed is just how many 3-ofs there are, especially in the Crow deck. So that means that consistency-wise, it's gonna be a pretty high-powered duel that we have in front of us. But as we crack open the side, let's see what it looks like on the inside. So we have our 3 decks. The Crow deck, the Yusei deck, and the Akiza deck. And we also have little chibi Synchros that came with the new set. So Stardust Dragon's right there. We should have things like Black Rose Dragon as well as Black Wing Dragon. But I want to take a look at the Yusei deck. Let's crack this thing open because this has some of the new cards printed for this set that kind of boosts the Junk Warrior strategy of the deck. So first look here, we obviously have the retrain of Full Speed Warrior, or rather the retrain of the original Speed Warrior, Scrap Synchron. We also have Anchorbolt Hedgehog, Crossword Sonic Shake. Some of his iconic monsters from the anime now have better effects, but the big one is Junk Warrior Extreme, now a level 8 Synchro monster. So Junk Warrior got a big buff there. 2900 attack, and when he's Synchro Summoned, he summons as many level 2 or lower monsters from your graveyard as possible, but then their effects are negated, and you can only summon 1 more time for the rest of the turn. So he's a way to like get a bunch of guys out, go for 1 more big synchro play. And also when he destroys a monster by battle, he can banish himself to summon a junk synchro monster from your extra deck. So you can get really big damage with this guy. Not only does he flood the board and get you another big guy, but he can also then go into something else. Which, if you remember, the original Junk Warrior on Synchro Summon gains attack equal to the attack of all of your level 2 or lowers. Well, guess what? He floods the field with level 2 or lower. So that's another way to just get the big Junk Warrior out. That'd be really fun to pull off today. But then there's also new cards, like a new trap card, new spell card that help with consistency and being able to interact with your opponent, along with Scrap Warrior. So another Scrap. Technically, this is summonable off of Junk Warrior Extreme's effect. Not sure how often you'd want to do that one, but now you have a level 3 option. Other than that, it's just a lot of consistency in this deck. You can see how many 3-ofs there are, how many 2-ofs there are, and then the big hit right here. Ash Blossom's obviously exciting, but Molch Army Perulia, everyone's talking about this as a reprint in this box set, and you're gonna find it's not the only hype reprint. So this deck looks awesome, looks very exciting, and I can't wait to see if it can win some duels.
I've been given the Crow Hogan legendary deck. All right, starting off, we have Blackwing Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. Everyone who plays retro formats knows how powerful this card can be, which is giving you constant access to your Blackwing Synchro Summons, Icarus Attack. Even more familiar with this one, Blackbird Close. I believe this is the counter trap. Very exciting. Armor Master, No Thung the Starlight, Gale the Whirlwind. Ooh, everyone's favorite limited card. Bore the Spear, 2 Drone Lockbird. He's a spellcaster, not a winged beast, but there is a bird in there, so I totally understand why it makes sense. Chris the Krakadon, it's actually a really cool card you can use in 2011 Blackwings. Can't wait to see what it can do here. Tons of stuff I'm familiar with. Double Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring as some of our reprints. Gonna be super awesome. And okay, we've got Simoon, the Poison Wind here. This is gonna be the best normal summon in the deck. I know it's 6 stars, but trust me, this is a normal summon right here. I got Ghost Mourner. Oh, Steven's not going to be able to play. We have Vada, the Emblem of Wandering, kind of the retrain of the Emblem of Honor over here. Just a little bit stronger at summoning monsters. We've got Shamal, plenty of that, like I said. Tons of 3-ofs. This deck's looking pretty consistent to me. We have Chinook, the Snow Blast, Sudri, the Phantom Glimmer. I'm not going to lie, some of these guys I've never seen before, but I'm excited to see what they can pull off today. And we've been talking a lot about wing base so far. This is probably one of the best modern wing base right here in Molcharmi Foolos. Super awesome common reprint of this card. Mystical Space Typhoon, Book of Moon, double Black Whirlwind, not 3, pretty notable. We have Forbidden Chalice, Called by the Grave, tons of options for protecting our cards. We have Black Feather Whirlwind, which I believe allows you to work with a dark synchro monster, which is pretty much every single Blackwing synchro. Anti-reverse, can't wait to use this against Steven and Heavy Storm, his back row if he has any. We've got Blackwing Twin Shadow, Armed Wing, Silverwing the Ascendant, Blackwing Dragon, Blackwing Full Armor Master. Towers, anyone? And then we have the 2 newest guys that got released just a few years ago in Blackwing Assault Dragon and Blackwing Boastorm the Wicked Wind. This is a synchro tuner that will enable us to summon this guy, get a bunch of Blackwing counters, and maybe even Raigeki Steven's entire board. Really excited to play this deck, and more excited to showcase what you can do with it just by getting this one legendary 5D's product.
All right, so that leaves one more deck left. This is the Akiza deck, and she is all about plant monsters turning into dragons. So I don't know if that's alchemy or what science is behind that, but I do love me some plants. This was back in Crossroads of Chaos was when 2009, 2010 era is when these cards were coming out originally, and I remember playing a lot of Plague Spreader Zombie and also plant decks back then. And so I'm going to see probably a lot of cards I recognize. One right off the top, Miracle Fertilizer. Take a look, Black Garden, classic field spell, Basil Rose Shoot. These were more recent support over the last couple of years where you can very quickly synchro spam out using your Rose Dragons. It kind of made Rose Dragons more of an actual archetype as opposed to just Black Rose Dragon and then some plants around it. But trap card here, Blooming of the Darkest Rose. Beautiful artwork. Oh, can we also just appreciate the Black Rose Dragon artwork? Probably some of the best artwork in the game. Speaking of some of the best in the game, Lone Fire Blossom, one of the strongest aging cards, came out in Phantom Darkness originally. Crazy to think about, all the way back in like 2007 or 2008, and it's still relevant to this day. You can just get any plant monster in your deck, and we're going to see a lot of plant monsters. Also a lot of just generic reprints here, but the Red Rose Dragon, the White Rose Dragon, again, kind of making Rose Dragons more of an actual archetype, along with the Rose Princess, the Rose Girl, Rox Rose Dragon, this is one of the classic ones, and then Ruddy Rose Witch, a retrain of one of the other Rose Witches back in the day. But here we go, again, highlighting it every time. The Mole Charmies, this one's Meowls. Here. I kind of like that thematic. It's got this kind of pink flower aesthetic on it, so it fits. But the fact that one product, you get all 3 of the Mole Charmies at common, means that just buy 3 of these, and you're going to have a competitive level deck. But even just looking at this, I mean, you have so many 3-ofs. This is pretty much ready to go as it is, just a simple product. Monster Reborn, Terraforming, another Miracle. Oh, that's cool. So we have a common, but we also have a rarity upgrade for the Ultra Rare. And then same with the Black Garden. And a lot of just classic plant cards back here, and even 2 infinite permanences, that's nice. But here it is, the Black Rose Dragon. I think one of the most beautiful arts. I think my favorite one's the Ghost Rare of it personally. I know that you can't see the art as well, but something about the way it pops off the card's great, but just even a common, that's a great looking card right there. And then also the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. I remember the retrain there. Oh, there are some links. So I wasn't sure if we would get link monsters in this since it's a Synchro focus set, but we do have the Cross Rose Dragon and then the Ruddy Rose Dragon, the big final boss of the deck. So that's it. This is going to be a lot of plant monsters flooding the field, summoning your Black Rose Dragon and related monsters. You're going to be destroying every card on the field, hopefully more of Steven's than mine, and then that will bring us to a victory. But we'll see who gets to play this one, and also how it does versus the others.
All right, Steven, we have teased the people watching at home with what is in these decks, but now it is time to use them.
It is absolutely time to duel. I'm excited for this one because this is a product. We don't get products like this all the time where you can just open it up and then play with a friend. This one you could do 3 players if you wanted to because there's 3 decks.
Have like a mini round robin tournament.
Have a mini tournament, which is kind of what we're about to do here. Right. This is some of my favorite type of Yu-Gi-Oh!
And just looking at some of the boss monsters here, we have a really hard to interact with Boyo. We've got the Queen that can take over an entire board, and then we have this guy who can go for game in a single turn.
Yeah, like reading his effect, it didn't dawn on me immediately like just how powerful he would be until I realized, oh, when he summons a junk from the extra deck, it counts as a synchro, and he gives you 4 level 2 monsters, and they got attack boosts. So like,
I'm not that familiar with any of these archetypes, and so having this product come out now to kind of reintroduce me to what their modern support looks like is going to be really fun for me. So even though I'm not like super confident with any of these decks, I can't wait to learn them in real time.
Yeah, I'm excited to show it off. So now let's determine who gets which deck. How are we going to do it, Steven?
Well, as always, on the Steven and Steven channel, we do dice rolls a little bit differently.
Okay.
We can either roll to see who goes first in our first match, or we can roll to see which deck we get to pick. So basically, the winner gets to decide which one they get, and then the person who doesn't win gets to decide whether they go first or second, and which of the other 2 decks they get to start with.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see it. You want to roll first?
Yep, let's roll for high.
For high.
I've got
Looks like
3.
you got a 3.
You
That
enjoy
is,
your pick. You enjoy your pick.
It's looking like I might have the win here, but we'll see. Maybe Snake Eyes. That's
Nice,
8 right there, so I take it. So I can choose the deck that I want to pilot, and I gotta say, this looks like too much fun. I have to do the Yusei one. Junk Warrior was always one of my favorite synchros. It's just iconic, and this is the new art of it as well, which looks even cooler than the original one. But that original one's classic, and this guy, man, just look at that fist. That's a meteor fist right there. That's a Nibiru-sized fist.
Nice. Well, you're a really good buddy of mine, so I think the best way to start off is as a buddy v buddy match. I'm going to use Blackwings, and I'm going to proudly go first.
Okay, well, good luck reading all of your cards.
Good luck reading all your cards.
Thank you. I was wondering if you were going to do it or not, but now let's sleeve these up and get to dueling.
I got a need, Steven. A need for speed. It's time to duel.
All right, you got the Blackwings, I got the Junks and the Synchrons and the Stardusts.
And before we begin the duel, let's go ahead and christen it by opening the Chibi pack.
The Chibis, I've been so excited for these. I have the Chibi Junk Warrior. I'm not using it today, unfortunately, but I'm gonna definitely use the Chibi Stardust and the Chibi Junk Warrior in the deck when I build it later.
The Chibi Black Rose is very cute, but
Oh,
we don't
wait,
need
let
it
me
right
see
now.
that. Wait, oh, that's so cool. This is the pin, isn't this? I think that there's a pin version.
There's also a playmat I think that has it on too.
Okay, cool.
Very beautiful. But it goes over here with the Blackwing, with the Black Rose deck. I will take Blackwing Dragon. That'll go ahead and get sleeved.
I get my
automatically.
second Stardust because there's also the common in here. So we're gonna play with both because it comes up.
And then we got some tokens.
Nice.
I'll have this one on my side for good luck.
I like those. The token that I use at tournaments is still the one of us, all the broadcast crew together.
Nice.
Yeah, one of my favorites. All right, let's have some fun.
Let's do it. I'll be going first. Drawing that opening hand. Good luck to you, buddy.
You too.
Whoa. We've got some cards here, Steve-O.
I would say the same.
Okay. Draw, stamp by main. Anything.
You're good.
Well, I'm going to be doing the fun stuff. So because I control no monsters, I'm going to... Is it cost? Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal Blackwing, Simoon the Poison Wind, banishing Bore the Spear for cost to then place Black Whirlwind, and immediately after I do that, normal summon Simoon. Is that good?
That is good. One of the most powerful starters in Blackwing. A lot of old school fans that would have played like the original Blackwing release in like Crimson Crisis and Raging Battle know how powerful Black Whirlwind is. This was limited at one time. This guy lets you search it, place it, and additional normal summon, meaning you get 2 normal summons to trigger off of the Black Whirlwind. Incredible.
Simoon's effect will now allow me to normal summon it without tributing, and then I'm going to use the effect here to search my deck, because I can now search for a Blackwing monster that has less attack points than Simoon, so less than 1,600. I feel like I'm going to get this friend, but... Blackwing Chinook the Snow Blast. So basically, if I control a Dark Synchro Monster, I can like send this card from my hand to the graveyard as a quick effect to then send a Blackwing Dragon or a Blackwing Synchro Monster from my extra deck to the graveyard. Target a card you control, reduce its attack points by 700, and negate its effects. So it's like a quick
better effect veiler because it's also the effect includes a decrease in attack, can be used during the damage step, which is really cool. It loads up your graveyard for your synchro plays. Does kind of everything you need.
Speaking of Synchro Summoning, I'm now going to activate Black Feather Whirlwind, kind of the retrain of Black Whirlwind. Basically, this will trigger every time I Synchro Summon a Dark Synchro Monster, and I can target one Blackwing Monster or Blackwing Dragon that is banished during my graveyard with less attack than the monster that I special summoned, and then bring it out to the field.
So as opposed to searching your deck for more, you get to recycle what you've already used and
Also,
just keep climbing.
Also, it has synergy with the Black Feather counters that my deck is known for creating, because basically, if a Dark Monster I control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can remove a Black feather counter instead.
OG Blackwing fans are like, they actually did something with black feather counters. That's that's awesome. It used to just be the Blackwing dragon. He was the only one.
And now I'm going to use Blackwing Vada the Emblem of Wandering because I control a Blackwing monster. I can summon it directly to the field.
Okay.
And it is a level 2 tuner monster. I will now Synchro Summon using these 2 monsters into the one, the only, the chibi Blackwing Dragon. This card, very iconic from Season 2 of the original anime. If you would take damage from a card effect, place 1 black feather counter on this card instead. This card loses 700 attack for each black feather counter on it. Once per turn, you can remove all black feather counters from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 700 attack for each black feather counter removed, and if I do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack lost by this effect.
It's kind of rare to have like anti-burn cards pop up in different strategies, but this is an example of that.
I will now trigger Black Feather Whirlwind because I've summoned a Dark Synchro monster for my extra deck. I can target 1 Blackwing monster or Blackwing dragon that's banished or in my graveyard with attack less than it and summon it to the field.
Okay.
I think I'm going to choose to bring back Vata, the Emblem of Wandering. If I'm not mistaken, that'll let me make this guy. Oh yeah, it will. I'm now going to use these 2 boys to perform a Synchro Summon into a level 10, the man, the myth, the legend, Blackwing Full Armor Master.
There he is.
Unaffected by other card effects. You love that sentence. Each time an opponent's monster activates its effect, place 1 wedge counter on that opponent's monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter. Take control of it. Once per turn during your end phase, you can destroy all monsters on the field with a wedge counter. I think I'm just going to let this rock. During my end phase, the rest of Simoon the Poison Wind's effect will activate. I will now destroy my Black Whirlwind and take 1,000 points of damage. This would have comboed to give me a Black Feather counter, but I think Full Armor Master is a little bit nicer right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it rock. I've taken 1,000.
Okay, so you have summoned your Signer Dragon, you've summoned the big boss monster of the deck, the Full Armor Master.
Yes.
And you still have some resources in hand that I'm going to have to worry about.
Yes, well, you know I have a Chinook, which is a quick effect, basically mega effect failure.
To negate a monster and lower the attack as well. And in classic fashion, this happens all the time. I drew a card that would have helped slow you down for a turn.
Oh,
it's fine.
The 6th card magic.
It's fine. We're going to activate the effect in hand of Junk Converter. One of the, not like super old junk cards, but definitely a powerful one that came out after the initial wave. I can discard this card in a tuner to add a Synchron monster from my deck to my hand. And then if it's sent from the field to the graveyard as Synchro material, I can target a tuner in my graveyard and special summon it, but it can't activate its effects that turn. So I will discard it and Jet Synchron. We'll go over Jet Synchron's effect later, but this guy can come back very easily in attempting to search.
That's good.
Cool. All right, we're going to grab Scrap Synchron.
Nice.
Now, Scrap Synchron, for a Synchro Summon, I can use this as any Synchron tuner monster, but more importantly, I can use it from my hand to Synchro Summon. So it's a way to kind of cheat out. I can normal summon something and then use this guy as material from hand. Oftentimes my field gets a little clogged with all my little guys running around. And then also if a monster I control that mentions Junk Warrior or is a Synchro monster with Warrior in its original name would be destroyed with a battle or card effect, I can banish this from my graveyard instead. Now this one's a little funny. I'm going to normal summon Molcharmy Perulia.
You do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do, folks. I drew this for turn, but nicely it is a level 4 non-tuner, so I can now use Scrap Synchron from my hand to Synchro Summon a level 5. And I'm going to go for one of the strongest level 5s printed in the Junk archetype, Junk Speeder. This monster is a level 5 Synchro monster that when it's Synchro Summoned, I can special summon as many Synchron tuners as possible with different levels for my deck in defense position, but I can't summon from my extra deck except for Synchros the turn I use the effect. So I will activate the effect to summon a lot of guys.
Chainlink 2, I'm going to use Chinook of the Stole Blast, targeting this young man. And then, is that good?
That is good. You negate his effects.
By sending Blackwing, Boa Storm, the Wicked Wind to my graveyard.
Yep.
Also, reduces attack points by 700. Worth
Also
noting.
reduces attack points by 700. Next up, I will activate Tuning.
Famously
I
fair
can
card.
search my deck for a Synchron tuner and add it to my hand, and then send the top card of my deck to the graveyard. This is also the alternate art of tuning. Looks really cool. I
Him
love
and his
that.
little junk backpack.
Him and his little junk backpack.
Little engine.
So we're gonna do some fun stuff here, Steven, because there's a lot of fancy graveyard effects I can get going, and we're gonna have to start utilizing those because I've already normal summoned once, but you'll find that this deck can cheat normal summons and also I can do a lot of cool things in the graveyard. I'll show you some of them. I'm going to add Stardust Synchron to my hand, and then I discard the top card of my deck.
Let's see what we get.
Let's resolve that. And I discard Synchro Zone.
Well, I think in all the matchups we're going to have today, this might won't matter that much.
That's not the best, you're right.
We're all Synchro decks here.
Now I will activate the graveyard effect of Jet Synchron. I can discard a card from my hand to the graveyard and special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. So I will discard from my hand that Stardust Synchron to summon my Jet Synchron.
Sure.
I will now activate the graveyard effect of Stardust Synchron. I contribute a monster on my field to special summon this from my graveyard.
This is level 4 now, right? No, it's still level 5.
No, that's still level 5.
Copy.
Yep. But it will change later.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm going to tribute this. It gets banished because I used the effect to special summon Stardust Synchron. I will activate the effect of Stardust Synchron to search my deck for a spell card, spell or trap that mentions Stardust Dragon or Junk Warrior.
Well, first of all, on resolution of the summon effect, you'll get a wedge counter first.
True.
And then you'll activate the new effect on summon. Because it's on resolution.
Okay, fair enough. Also, it only is a spell or trap that mentions Stardust Dragon, not Junk Warrior, but still I get to search for one of the new cards that just came out. Very, very good card. When I first read this, I was like, this, as you like to say, custom. Custom.
You love me some custom cards?
It almost reminds me of like Wishes for Eyes of Blue for the Blue Eyes support. This one is called Synchro Fellowship. Ooh. I can add 2 monsters from my deck to my hand. One has to be Junk Synchron, and the other is a monster that mentions either Junk Warrior or Stardust Dragon. Hence, this card mentions Stardust Dragon. And then I discard a card. So instead of like a lot of cards, you like discard 1, search for 2. This one, you search for 2, then discard 1. Mm-hmm. Then I can banish this card from my graveyard, target a Synchro monster, and reduce its level by 1. Then I get an additional normal summon for a Synchron monster this turn. Mm-hmm. Very powerful effect. All right, so that is now in my hand. I will activate Synchro Fellowship. Anything here?
No.
All right, I will search my deck for Junk Synchron. Anchor Bolt Hedgehog, another one of the new monsters here. This one can bring itself back from the graveyard at quick effect speed every turn, unlike the original Quillbolt Hedgehog, which was still good for the time, but this one's even better. And then I will discard that Quillbolt Hedgehog at resolution of the search. Next, I will activate the effect of Synchro Fellowship in graveyard, targeting my Junk Speeder, decreasing its level by 1, banishing it, and I can now additional normal summon a Synchron monster this turn.
Very cool.
So this is now a level 4.
Yes.
So we can synchro both of these immediately. Yeah, we're just gonna make Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon.
The young man.
And on summon, this allows me to special summon a level 2 or lower tuner from my graveyard. I'll summon Scrap Synchron back to the field.
Copy.
Now I still have my additional normal summon of a Synchron monster. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to normal summon Junk Synchron.
The boy.
Activate Junk Synchron's effect. Allows me to special summon a level 2 or lower monster from my graveyard and negate its effects.
All good.
I'll summon Junk Converter. Mm-hmm. Next, I will Synchro Summon these 2 in order to special summon the level 5, the man, the myth, the legend, Junk Warrior.
Oh yeah, OG. Baby. There he is.
There's going to be a chain link here starting. Junk Warrior is going to be chain link 1. If this card Synchro Summoned, it gains attack equal to the total attack of all level 2 or lower monsters I currently control. So that's chain link 1. Mm-hmm. Chain link 2 will be Junk Converter. If this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro material, I can target a tuner in my graveyard and special summon it in defense position. And then chain link 3, I will activate Anchor Bolt Hedgehog because I control a Junk Warrior or monster that mentions him. I can special summon this from my graveyard.
All good.
So chain will resolve. I'll summon out my Anchor Bolt Hedgehog. Junk Converter will special summon back my Junk Synchron. And then Junk Warrior will gain attack equal to all the level 2 or lowers on my field, which is 1,500, making him a 3,700 attack point level 5 Synchro monster.
And then on each effect's resolution, you're going to get a wedge counter.
Okay. Next up, I will Synchro, because they've done their job, my Scrap Synchron and my Anchor Bolt Hedgehog to create Scrap Warrior, level 3 Synchro monster. First off, monsters I control that mention Junk Warrior or are a Synchro monster with Warrior in the original name cannot have their activated effects negated. And then if this card is Synchro Summoned, I can take a Junk Synchron or a card that mentions Junk Warrior from my deck and either add it to my hand or send it to the graveyard.
Copy.
So I'll activate that effect to search my deck. Yeah, so we're actually just gonna grab a follow-up for next turn. I'm doing Junk Synchron number 2. Okay, so I have assembled my field, Steven, and now it's time to go to battle phase.
Yes.
I will attack with my 3,700 attack Junk Warrior into your Blackwing Full Armor Master.
Oh, I will say, on resolution of this guy's effect.
Oh, fair enough.
And then I'll take 800.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he is not protected by battle.
700, I believe.
15. So 7 plus 8, I believe.
You're
is
right.
38.
I cannot do math.
No, you're fine.
All right, 800 damage to you, and then I will attack with 1,300,
13.
1,700,
3K.
2,500.
55K. It's only during the main phase. Luckily.
This is only during the main phase that I
Thankfully.
contribute this to summon. Now, we will actually synchro away Junk Warrior with my Junk Synchron to create the OG Stardust Dragon, the chibi version.
Dang, okay.
Next, I will set a card, and I will just make sure I've used all my graveyard effects. There were a lot of them. Yes, I believe that is everything I could do. Now, I'm just gonna say, I'm very happy I was able to out a unaffected monster.
Who's very big.
When you also had a negate for my initial Synchro Summon. The fact that I didn't get the Junk Speeder off and still was able to do this shows what this deck's capable of. That was a really cool turn. But that is the turn. Now it is your turn. Let's see what you can do.
Me and my 700 life points. All right, draw. Standby phase, main phase, anything.
Nothing. Actually, sorry, yes. In your standby phase, I'm going to activate one of the new trap cards, One-Way Synchro.
Very cool.
I take a level 1 tuner from my deck or graveyard and either add it to my hand or special summon it. And if I control Junk Warrior or a monster that mentions it, while this is in the graveyard, I can reset it, but I can't use both effects in one turn. But what this gets me is either the ability to make other synchro plays, or more importantly, in my eyes, I can search Effect Veiler. And now I have a monster effect. Negation alongside 2 destruction protections, because this can turn into another
Stardust Dragon by tributing. I'm going to activate the effect of Blackwing Shamal the Sandstorm. I can send this card from my hand or field to the graveyard to place 1 Black Feather Whirlwind from my deck face up to the spell and trap zone. Is that good?
That is A-okay.
Unfortunately, oh my god, that's going to be such a fun... I'm going to do some stuff, I think. Hold on.
Okay.
So this will automatically place Black Feather Whirlwind. I'm just double reading this card here. That's great for the program, and you'll see why in a moment, folks. Banish my Blackwing Boresome the Wicked Wind and my Blackwing Dragon.
Okay.
To special summon Blackwinged Assault Dragon.
Ooh.
So now every time you activate a card's effect, some bad stuff's going to happen for you. But
big
I got a
guy,
couple of
big
triggers
guy.
here. On the summon, both my Black Feather Whirlwinds will trigger. This will allow me to summon a Blackwing Synchro Monster or a Blackwing Dragon from my graveyard or banishment whose attack points are lower than him.
And how much was he at?
32. So I'm going to target Blackwing Full Armor Master and Blackwing Dragon.
I am going to Effect Veiler that. Oh wait, no, that's
Black Feather Whirlwind's ability.
Oh no.
His effect is just every time you activate the card effect, you'll take damage. So is that good?
I mean, not for me, but I'm sure you're gonna have fun here.
Now that my Full Armor Master's back, I'm gonna go ahead and declare his once per turn effect to target 1 monster with a wedge counter and to take control of it. I would like Scrap Warrior, please.
Now I have an Effect Veiler to. Well, actually, he's unaffected.
He's unaffected.
Never
He's
mind.
chilling. He's
yeah,
big chilling.
so I can't stop that from happening. You will get the Scrap Warrior.
Thank you very much. And anything before we go into battle phase?
This is fine.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and have Blackwing Dragon attack the inferior chibi Signer Dragon and deal you 300.
300 damage.
I'll then have Full Armor Master attack Excel. That'll be 800 damage. I'll attack you for 32. That'll be 4K. And then I'll attack you for 17. That'll be 5,700 damage.
Okay.
If all that goes through.
That all goes through.
And then remember, every time you activate a monster effect, you're going to take 700 to the face.
Whew.
Worth noting.
That's a lot. Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the end phase. Blackwing Full Armor Master's effect will activate, destroying all monsters with a wedge counter.
Okay.
That is now yours again.
And it is my turn. Draw phase. Interesting. Well, you have what? 1 card in hand?
1.
Well, let's see how far I can go.
You can
It's
activate
looking
3 monster
tough.
effects.
Yes, and we're going to start off with 1 normal summon Junk Synchron, activate his effect.
Okay, you'll take 700 immediately.
Yes. And I'm going to special summon Scrap Synchron from my graveyard.
Copy. His effects are negated.
His effects are negated.
And then you'll take 700 and get a wedge counter as well.
Yeah. And the reason I had to do him was because now I have a monster that mentions Junk Warrior, so I can activate Quillbolt Hedgehog's effect in the graveyard to special summon.
You'll take another counter on here, and I'll take another 700. I'm sorry, you'll take another 700, going to 900.
And, Steven, that's unfortunately all that I have. I cannot synchro anymore. If I had more level 5 synchros in the base deck, like if this was a full built deck, I'd be able to keep playing.
3 Junk Warrior
But
too,
in this sealed environment, I have gone through my synchro options, but I will go out on my turns. I will enter battle phase, and I will attack the Blackwings Dragon!
And you will take 1,500.
Well played. Well played. That was a fun duel. I think it shows how strong, first off, having a 3,000 attack unaffected monster is.
Yes.
This guy's amazing too, burning me. But then it also showed how resilient my deck was. I was surprised that on my turn 1, I was actually able to do as much as I did.
Yeah.
Just because I was at least able to beat over him, and I got you close to 8,000 damage. I mean, 700 life points left.
Yeah, I
were really feeling it.
I made a slight misplay in the other turns, not utilizing Vada a little bit. This basically would have given me an extra Blackwing Dragon on the first turn, which I could have used to gain Black Feather counters by taking damage and then having protection for this guy. But unfortunately, my lack of experience with the deck was showing. But luckily, Chinook was enough to stop your biggest push of the Junk Speeder, and I think if you were able to resolve that, I was done for.
And
so
I imagine 700 damage, if I had a better grasp of this deck, maybe I could have gotten it. I had Wheel Synchron in hand. I thought about Tribute summoning him as my additional normal summon, because then he can also give me an additional normal summon.
Very cool.
Maybe there was something there to get a little more damage on the field, but I'm still happy with how I played it, considering this is my first time piloting the new cards and trying out this new deck. That was a lot of fun.
And I just really love like the balance of like the OGs with like the new, more modern support and how it all lined up. And, you know, coming in, like I said at the beginning of this video, I had no idea what any of these archetypes really did in the modern era of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the current advanced format. But now I have a very clear idea of how all of these archetypes work, and that's all from just getting one product, playing with a buddy of mine, and having a great afternoon.
I think in terms of products, this has got to be one of the best balance for like just in the box playing. I love just picking up like a couple structure decks and playing them versus each other. This is the very similar vibe to that. Just a little higher powered. Like I'd say that this is higher powered than most of the structure decks that have come out.
Yeah, great reprints, balanced power level, the whole thing you're wanting out of it, just sit down and play kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Product, which is not something I don't think we've ever really had before. No. So having this on the market now, I just think is so huge.
That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much, Konami, for giving us all this amazing stuff. This was super fun. Thank you, Steven, for dueling. And as always, everybody, let us know who you were rooting for in the comments with hashtag Team Steven. Trust us, we know who you're talking about. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.